Let's compare the military forces of Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Pakistan is larger than Sri Lanka. Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte is the capital of Sri Lanka and Islamabad is the capital of Pakistan. Pakistan is populous than Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan rupee is the currency of Sri Lanka and Pakistani rupee is the currency of Pakistan. GDP expectation of Pakistan in 2022 is higher than Sri Lanka. What are the military forces of these two countries? Pakistan is more powerful than Sri Lanka when military power is compared in 2022. Pakistani allocation of defense budget in 2022 is higher than Sri Lanka. Pakistan has more active military than Sri Lanka. And reserve military too. Pakistan has more paramilitary personnel than Sri Lanka in 2022. Pakistan has more total personnel than Sri Lanka. Let's compare the land forces of Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Pakistan has more tanks than Sri Lanka. And armored vehicles too. Sri Lanka has no self-propelled artilleries. Pakistan has more towed artilleries than Sri Lanka. Pakistan has more rocket projectors than Sri Lanka. Pakistan is among the 9 countries which process nuclear weapons. Let's compare the air forces of Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Pakistan is more powerful than Sri Lanka when total aircraft strength is compared. Pakistan has more fighters than Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has no dedicated attacks. Pakistan has more transports than Sri Lanka. And trainers too. Pakistan has more special mission aircrafts than Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has no tanker fleets but Pakistan has 4. Pakistan has more helicopters than Sri Lanka. And attack helicopters too. Pakistan has more airports than Sri Lanka. Let's compare the naval forces of these two countries. Sri Lanka is more powerful than Pakistan when total naval assets are compared. Both countries don't have aircraft carriers. And helicopter carriers too. Sri Lanka has no destroyers but Pakistan has 2. Pakistan has more frigates than Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has no corvettes. Sri Lanka has no submarines but Pakistan has 9. Sri Lanka has more patrol vessels than Pakistan. Sri Lanka has no mine warfares. Pakistan has more ports than Sri Lanka.